Hi Sagittarius, welcome and thank you for tuning in to my channel, The Fool's Journey Tarot. You are watching a general love reading for the sign of Sagittarius for this coming week of August, and today is Friday the 14th. Sagittarius, this is a general love reading, and that means that it can apply to just about anything in your life, relationships or otherwise. I also want to remind you to be flexible with the energy. Don't be overly concerned about the gender of the cards. You can mix and match the roles within the reading. That means you can be represented by any of the characters that shows up in the cards. This also means that you might feel like I'm reading for you, but you could feel like you're cross-watching for somebody that you're dealing with instead. Parts of the reading may resonate for you and other parts may not. So take what does and leave what doesn't. I hope by the time you finish watching this, you feel like you have something that's helpful and or beneficial to you in some way, because that's my intention. Okay, Sagittarius, so we'll get started here shortly. This is Carmilla. And Sylvester the cat is also joining us for your reading today. He's hanging out in the window. And all is good today at this household. So let's get going with an awesome reading for Sagittarius and see how good life is for Sagittarius. Let's see what we've got. Here we go. We're going to start off with the Three of Swords in reverse, paired with the King of Wands in reverse, Two of Swords in reverse, Two of Pentacles in reverse, Ten of Cups, the Empress in reverse, the Lovers, and then we have the Ace of Cups. Okay, Sagittarius, so this looks like this applies to a specific relationship, probably one that's pretty significant in your life. We have the King of Wands in reverse on the table. The King of Wands is somebody who's typically in a position of power, or this could be somebody who typically has like leadership skills. Maybe this is a boss or somebody who runs a company or somebody who's head of an organization. This is somebody who has some kind of influence over others in some way, shape, or form, typically. This person in reverse can indicate somebody who's misusing his power or his position, or maybe is being controlled by others. Somebody who doesn't feel capable of the responsibilities and decisions that go along with whatever position he might be in. So whatever the case may be, this King of Wands is dealing with some kind of shadow energy. With the Three of Swords coming out next to him, it's possible he could be recovering from something, from some grief or some heartache or something that may have gone wrong within a relationship. But again, Sagittarius, I do feel that whatever's going on here, and we'll get some more cards out here pretty soon, that this reading is going to apply to a significant relationship. It could be romantic or otherwise. It doesn't have to be. We'll see what comes up in the cards. I'm going to give this second deck one more good shuffle, and then we'll get some more cards out here for Sagittarius. By the way, I'm using this new deck. It's still the deck that I was using previously, the Gilded Tarot, but it's the Royale version. So the cards are very similar, but the images are considerably more colorful and vibrant. And so they're the same cards, but I just wanted to switch them out because I got this new deck a while ago. And it's fun to use, but the images are not instantly recognizable by me, so sometimes, especially if I'm not wearing my glasses, I have to kind of take a second look at which ones come out because I'm not 100% familiar with them, but they are the same cards as my other ones, despite that. Okay, let's see what else we get for Sagittarius. We have the Two of Cups in reverse. Four of Swords, clarifying this king. The Devil in reverse. Justice. The Tower in reverse. Temperance in reverse. Wheel of Fortune in reverse. And then we have the Five of Swords in reverse. So I definitely feel like this king is in recovery mode, and it does have to do with something that may have gone wrong within a specific relationship. With the Two of Cups and Lovers out here, this feels like it definitely was a very significant relationship to this person. And with the Four of Swords coming out, to me this indicates he's probably recovering from something that happened within this relationship. It feels like there was a decision made or something that occurred in and around this connection that feels like it had to happen. It feels like there was a decision that was made that maybe had to happen, that maybe wasn't a very comfortable decision, but it was justified. With Justice out here. So maybe this is something that he didn't feel like he had control over. He wasn't able to influence the decision maybe in the manner that he would have liked to. But I feel like this was something that had to happen, but it probably was uncomfortable for this King of Wands. This could potentially, for some of you, have to do with a legal issue. Maybe a conflict that was resolved in court with Justice coming out here. And again, I feel like maybe there was something that was beyond this king's control that occurred within a connection or a relationship that maybe resolved a conflict or an issue. And it may feel to this King of Wands, well, things just didn't go my way. I had a bit of bad luck. Wasn't what I was hoping for, wasn't what I was wanting. So let's get some more cards out here for Sagittarius and see what else we can come up with. Nine of Cups. Eight of Wands in reverse. The Chariot in reverse. Ace of Cups again. The Hermit. Wheel of Fortune again. Ace of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Three of Wands. I feel like this king wants things to slow down or stop. I think this king feels like he needs things to, he needs to take a break, or he needs things to stop moving forward. I think he needs or wants things to just stop for a minute. It feels like he's recovering. It feels like he's hopeful that he can get a period of rest, maybe to absorb what's happening or recover from what has happened, but it feels like he wants things to just stop moving. And at least right now, I think that's what's happening. Maybe this was a situation where something significant happened or a significant decision was made. And I think that whether or not this king feels good about it, I think it was the right thing. I think it was the right move or the right decision. It was justified. I think it's affecting other people in a positive manner, and I think maybe he is kind of reflecting on that right now. Maybe he's thinking, well, this wasn't exactly what I wanted, but it's a positive move in the right direction for other people, or other people are having a positive reaction to it, and so maybe I need to just sit back and think about this and reflect on it and get to a point where I can accept it. I get the feeling, though, this King of Wands might be experiencing some negative emotions regarding the situation, not just sadness and grief that he's trying to get past, but I feel like he could be a little bit angry or upset, again, over a decision that was made that possibly was out of his control, and it was pertaining to or related to a connection or relationship. But I do feel like whatever occurred, it may have brought an end to a conflict, or may have allowed him to get out of a situation or walk away from a conflict. Okay, Sylvester, you know I love you dearly, but I can't have you in my lap right now. You want to go back in the window? You go back in the window. Go on. He's got to sit in the window. Can't sit here, you gotta go on the floor then. If this is your decision, you have to move on to the floor. Okay. Alright, Sagittarius. Let's see what else we've got going on for Sagittarius. I get the feeling with this Empress in reverse out here, I get the feeling that whatever decision was made or whatever occurred that affected this relationship for this king, I feel like if it had gone the other way, it would have been something that he would have been happy with or content with. However, I feel like he also understands that it would have been a situation where only he would have been happy with the outcome versus other people. So it feels like something could have gone a different direction, but I think that this king is aware that it would have resulted in some imbalance with regard to how other people felt about it or how other people would respond to the outcome. Because I feel like he would have been content with things going another direction, but it would have negatively impacted others. So let's get some more cards out for Sagittarius and see what else we get. We have the High Priestess. 8 of Cups in reverse. The Star. King of Swords, Two of Wands in reverse, Five of Swords in reverse again, Ace of Pentacles, Queen of Swords in reverse. So we have a King of Swords that came out clarifying this Justice card. So the King of Swords is somebody who's in a position of authority. This is somebody who could potentially be in law enforcement, for example, or somebody who's a judge or a lawyer or somebody who makes decisions for others. This is somebody who's a very clear thinker, very intelligent, somebody who knows the difference between right and wrong. This could very well have been some kind of legal issue within a relationship. It's feeling like that more strongly than anything else, but again, this could be different for everybody. That's just kind of the vibe I'm getting from this set of cards, that there was some kind of decision made, and basically this King of Wands was on the receiving end of negative results or a negative outcome. It's possible with the Chariot in reverse, Eight of Wands in reverse, Eight of Cups now in reverse coming out. It's possible that maybe this king is hopeful that he can change the outcome, maybe stop things from moving forward. Maybe he's going to appeal the decision, for example, if it's a judgment. But again, I do get the sense that with whatever occurred, it feels like it was just and fair. It feels like it was the right decision to make, but it was just something that this king is not very content or happy about. We have a Queen of Swords on the table, and I do feel like this is somebody this King of Wands might be dealing with. This Queen of Swords feels she's got a kind of a negative vibe coming off her with her in reverse. It feels like this person could be the person that this king is dealing with within this relationship. She might be on the receiving end of the positive outcome with regard to whatever decision was made surrounding this relationship and this conflict. Maybe it's possible that she's receiving some kind of monetary settlement with the Ace of Pentacles coming out here. Her reaction to the outcome, the fact that she's in reverse, could be part of the reason why this King of Wands is in the shadow energy, because it feels a little bit like this Queen of Swords is not accepting the win. I'm going to call it the win, because I feel like she's on the receiving end of a positive outcome, whereas this King of Wands is on the receiving end of a negative outcome with a decision, with regard to a decision that was made that centers around this relationship or this connection. And I feel like her reaction to being on the receiving end of the positive outcome is a kind of in-your-face attitude. It feels like she could be taunting him or mocking him or trying to make him feel worse than he already feels with regard to whatever this decision was. I don't think she's accepting the win graciously, I guess is what I should say. Both of these people feel like they could be dealing with some bitterness or some anger. This does have a really strong vibe of like a lawsuit or judgment. Maybe with regard to a divorce or something like that, legal separation. Let's see what else we get for Sagittarius. So we have the Page of Cups, Page of Swords in reverse, the Hermit, the Sun, King of Cups in reverse, Queen of Cups in reverse, Queen of Wands, and then we have the Seven of Cups. So this is interesting. Now we have Queen of Cups, King of Cups, Queen of Wands. I think the King of Cups is the King of Wands. I think the Queen of Cups is the Queen of Swords. So it feels like there's some question in the air regarding what's next for this relationship, even though I feel like there's been a decision made or some kind of judgment or ruling or direction taken indicating that something has come to an end, or this king lost out in favor of this queen, some kind of ruling in favor of her. And again, I'm using this, language indicating possibly like a court case or court ruling, but it doesn't have to be. But it feels like this king lost and this queen won. But there's some kind of question regarding the actual relationship itself. Like, what's next for this queen? I think this Queen of Wands is also this Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups. It feels to me like she could be in a position where she could make some decisions that would affect this relationship because of whatever has occurred that resulted in a positive outcome for her. But there's some questions regarding maybe what she's going to do with this. What is she going to do with this now that she has it? There's some kind of question regarding what is this person going to do with what she has received, or what decision's been made, whatever's gone her way. Now what's going to happen with it? I feel like she's sitting in a position of power or the ability to make some decisions. And I feel like this King of Wands is kind of sitting back, realizing that he doesn't have any choice or decision-making power, that he's kind of a sitting duck, I guess, or I don't know if sitting duck's the right word. He's on the receiving end of waiting to see what's going to happen next. And this queen, I feel like she's in a position right now where she feels like she has the power to make a significant move with regard to this relationship in particular. Maybe there's some anticipation that there will be a new start, or that the potential's there, and will she take this opportunity to restart or reconnect or something of that nature. I do feel like there's significant love lost between these two because of this conflict and the decisions that were made. I think that these two feel like they were kind of at opposite ends of the spectrum. It feels like there was a disagreement where it was going to be one way or the other, and there wasn't going to be any decision made that was in the middle or compromise. It was one way or the other, and this king is on the losing end and this queen is on the receiving end. Now, I want to remind my viewers as well that male or female, you can embody either one of these energies. So if you're a female and you're resonating more as this King of Wands, that's certainly a reasonable way to interpret this reading, and vice versa for a male who might be watching this reading. Just bear that in mind. Just the way the cards have landed, though, it's the feminine energy that's on the receiving end of something positive versus the masculine energy who's on the receiving end of something not positive. I think that if there's communication between these two, it's probably not very productive or positive. It's probably not getting these two anywhere. I feel like there's for some reason this doesn't feel like it's a closed out situation. It feels like there's more to be said, or more to be dealt with, or more to be addressed or resolved. There's more to come, but the progress forward rests in the hands of this queen, and it feels like it's up in the air as to what her next move may be. And I think that because she's feeling significantly negative towards this king, it could be that she doesn't feel like she's in any rush to move things forward. Maybe she is in a position now that where she doesn't feel like she's been in this position where she kind of is calling the shots. And there's kind of this sense that maybe she's dragging this out a little bit just to poke and prod at this king. Get this last card for Sagittarius and see what we've got. So we've got Heaven and Earth in reverse. This is one of the 11 cards, which is one of the cards about balance. And I have not pulled this card, I don't know, in ages, Sagittarius. It's in reverse, so it's a potential blockage. But these 11 cards, which are actually the page cards, and the 11 of Earth would be the Page of Pentacles. Both the Page of Cups and the Page of Swords came out in this last round. Typically the Page of Pentacles in reverse would indicate maybe something that you're quitting or giving up, or something that a goal that you might be leaving behind, or it could indicate like a false friend or somebody who's not real authentic or doesn't have positive motives. It's kind of an immature energy. Maybe you start something and then quit before you even give it a chance to get going with it. But the 11 cards, the page cards in this particular deck are very, very different. And so I am going to read this out of the book for you, and it's about a page and a half. I'm going to read the upright meaning because the potential blockage is literally just this little paragraph, which I'll read first, and then I'm going to read the actual meaning of the card so you understand what the reversal might mean. So the 11 of Earth reversed has a very simple and direct meaning. If it appears in your reading today, like its upright meaning, symbolizes a potential imbalance that needs to be addressed. Okay, Sagittarius, so this is an imbalance that needs to be addressed. The 11 of Earth is a balancing and realignment card. It suggests it is now time to keep yourself centered and in harmony with the world around you by banishing the illusion of separation. You are a spiritual being, a soul living in a physical body in order to experience and learn from life. You are here to learn from those experiences in order to grow and evolve. It is important to integrate and ground your belief in a higher power, or the intangible, here on the physical plane. Know that Spirit, the divine, dwells in all things of earth, sky, and water. Honor Spirit here on earth. To be spiritual does not necessarily require you to pray or follow a particular religious path. Spirituality is about connection. It is about taking a moment to watch a sunrise or sunset and to know at your center that you are part of something larger than your own life. It is about believing in more than what your senses experience. It is about believing in the mysterious, inexplicable, and unknowable. It is about nurturing and honoring your personal relationships with the land beneath your feet and the heavens above. Humanity and nature have a symbiotic relationship. We are dependent upon the world in which we live for our very survival. When we harm the planet, we do harm to humanity. It is important to establish a balanced and harmonious relationship with nature by living a life that has less impact, one that places fewer demands on the environment. Instead of claiming space as your own, remember that you share it, and do what you can to coexist with the flora and fauna that were there before you. Integrate nature into your home environment. It is important to know and understand how to live in accordance with the seasons and cycles, and how each animal and plant serves an important role in maintaining the stability of the ecosystems in which they dwell. To destroy one can lead to the destruction of the whole. It is also important to see that magic exists in all and everything. For example, the mundane act of house cleaning can shift and alter the energy within the house and transform the environment in which you dwell. This act has an influence beyond the space around you. It affects your emotional and mental state as well, as a cluttered and disorganized house or workspace can give rise to a cluttered and disorganized mind that is unable to focus. Mathematical patterns, the Fibonacci sequence, for example, can be found hidden in the natural world within the shape of shells, flowers, pine cones, and even the human womb. They are also visible in the way tree branches grow in the shape of a hurricane when viewed from above. It can be said that the ordinary is magical, and the magic is quite ordinary. To work magic is a simple process of creating and focusing energy with intent, which means that everything you do with intent, from adding a string of numbers to making a nice dinner for friends, is an act of making magic. When defining the material as the physical world in which we dwell, and the immaterial as the world we cannot see, the 11 of Earth addresses the importance of seeing them as being a part of a singular whole. Here you go, Sagittarius. So what I got from this, honestly, I think it's pretty simple, is that, and I felt this from the beginning from this King of Wands, which is the person I feel like I'm reading for. So again, you could be this queen if you're a Sagittarius, or you could be an external party that's getting this reading because it's affecting you in some way. You could be one of the people that's affected by whatever decision was made with regard to this connection or this relationship. So this could be a family dynamic, a group dynamic, but there are definitely other people that are affected by what's going on between these two. I think that this indicates more for this king, but probably also for this queen, that whatever's going on here, it feels uncomfortable, it feels unpleasant, to say the least, especially with regard to what's going on between these two. I think it's important for this king to take some time out for himself, which I believe he's doing, and I think that resting, recovering, and recuperating from whatever's occurred is going to be important for this person, and maybe it's time for him to go on a camping trip, or maybe he needs to go to the lake and do some fishing, or maybe he just needs to take a walk in the park, or maybe he just needs to clean his house. Doing something that brings you peace and makes you feel calm and centered is probably something that would be extremely beneficial for this particular individual who feels like he's on the receiving end of something very uncomfortable. And if you're going to move forward in some positive direction with this individual, and I feel like there's a potential for that. I mean, the cards that first came out felt relatively positive, like there was potential for this relationship. This doesn't feel like a done deal to me, Sagittarius, if I'm being honest. And I do feel like this queen has at her fingertips some power to alter the situation or change the situation or move things forward in some way. I feel like she is in a position to do so. But if a positive outcome or some kind of positive result is going to come out of whatever action she decides to take, it's going to be because both of these parties were able to shift their energy and get out of this negative mindset, the shadow energy that both are dwelling in. And so I think this card could be advice for both of these people. Okay, Sagittarius, so I'm going to leave that here. I hope this reading was helpful. I hope it gave you some insight. If it did resonate, please like, share, subscribe, leave a comment if you want to. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, Sagittarius.